commemorate our ancestors, heroes, and heroines who sacrificed their lives for our countries. A minute of silence to commemorate all the Republic, Vietnamese, Australian, and Alliance soldiers who sacrificed their lives for the freedom of the people of South Vietnam. A minute of silence to commemorate the 100,000 innocent lives who died in search of freedom when escaping the brutal communist regime. A minute of silence to commemorate human rights activists who fought for freedom and died by the Vietnamese communists. A minute of silence to commemorate our health care workers, COVID-19 volunteers, and patients who lost their lives due to COVID-19. Phút mặc niệm để tưởng nhớ đến công đức của các bậc tiền nhân, các anh hùng nữ kiệt đã dày công dựng nước và giữ nước. Phút mặc niệm để tưởng nhớ các chiến sĩ của quân lực Việt Nam Cộng Hòa và đồng minh đã hy sinh để bảo vệ cho sự tự do của miền Nam Việt Nam. Phút mặc niệm để tưởng nhớ hàng trăm ngàn đồng bào ruột thịt kém may mắn đã hy sinh trên rừng sâu, trong lòng biển cả hay tại các trại tị nạn trên con đường vượt thoát chế độ cộng sản phi nhân. Phút mặc niệm để tưởng nhớ các nhà tranh đấu dân chủ đã hy sinh trong các trại tù của cộng sản Việt Nam. Phút mặc niệm để tưởng nhớ các nạn nhân của đại dịch COVID-19. A minute of silence commences. Phút mặc niệm bắt đầu. Phút mặc niệm chấm dứt. Xin kính mời quý vị an toàn. Good morning, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, welcome to the official open of 2021 Bonsai and Orchid exhibition living safely with COVID-19. It is an honor to have you here with us this morning. My name is Như Hoan. I will be your MC this morning. First, I would like to acknowledge our guests who are here with us today. Please welcome Councillor Trung Lu from Greenbank Council. Councillor Bruce Lancashire from Greenbank Council. Councillor Tui Dan from Greenbank Council. Lucy Liu from Falun Gong. Dr. Kiều Tinh Dũng, Victoria Legislative Council. Mr. Benefin, Victorian Legislative Council. Councillor Jasmine Nguyen from Greenbank Council. Councillor Virginia Tacos from Greenbank Council. Councillor Michael Clark from the Mayor of Maribyrnong Council. Renew Necker from Maribyrnong Council. Stephen Wolf from Maribyrnong Council. Mr. Mark Tracy, Department of Families, Fairness and Housing. Louis McKinley, SCV Director. Mr. Ian Hawking. Mr. Trúc. Ông Tân Trần. Mr. Trần Khánh Dư, Hòa Hảo Buddhist. Mr. Châu Hoàng Vũ, Hòa Hảo Buddhist. Mr. Nhân Nguyễn, Ly Hương Media. Mrs. Chi Nguyễn, Ly Hương Media. Councillor Renka Prezik, the Mayor of Greenbank Council. Mrs. Vian Nguyen, VMC Chairperson. Mrs. Tran, Hội Phụ Nữ Cộng đồng. We do have with us here today Liberal Senator David Van, Dr. Daniel Molino, bà Khâm Hội Phụ Nữ Việt Úc, Mr. Hưng Nguyễn, VCA Media, Mr. and Mrs. Hướng Dương, Mr. Thái Nguyễn Bonsai, Mr. Nguyễn Quốc Thịnh Việt Tân, Mrs. Võ Hồng Việt Tân, Mrs. Thủy Lê Hội Tương Tế, Mr. Hồng Ký Pha Bà, Mr. Long Vũ VCA Vic, Mr. Award Daher, Mr. Long Nguyễn from Radio Viễn Xứ, and Mrs. Thiên Thu from Radio Viễn Xứ, and finally Mr. Nguyễn Việt Long, RSL Foodray. It's a long list. I will update the person that I miss out later. Như Hoàng xin lỗi quý vị nếu mà Như Hoàng không có xứng danh tên của quý vị, chúng tôi sẽ cập nhật sau đây. Để bắt đầu chương trình hôm nay, I think I would like to invite Bonsai to speak. Please welcome Miss Dan Thanh.
Thanks for the cheering squad over there. Welcome, distinguished guests. On behalf of the Bonsai community group, I would like to welcome everybody to our very first Bonsai and Orchid show post-COVID. I would just like to say that we're very happy to see everyone in person and not on a screen. It has been quite a difficult year, and we're very happy to be able to see you today. And I have to say, I kind of feel like our Bonsai community group are a bit of trendsetters. During this difficult year, people have been baking their own sourdough. They've been going out, trying to find all these plants, paying ridiculous prices for them. But at the Bonsai Club, we've been really fortunate that we already had our plants. We were already those crazy plant people. And during this year, we have been able to care and nurture them. And they've been able to help us work through this hardship, if you'd like to say. So I'd like to say that our bonsais, they might not be the best looking bonsais in the show, but they have been loved a lot over the year. They've been cared for, and in return they've really looked after our bonsai group's well-being as well. So I hope that you will be able to see that in our show as you walk through and enjoy it. Welcome everybody.
Thanks, Duncan. I just can't wait to see all the beautiful bonsai from your club. Thanks again, once again. Next, I would like to invite Liberal Senator David Venn, Senator for Victoria, representing the Australian government. Please come forward.
Thank you very much. I might just move this box, otherwise I'll hit my head. It's quite okay. It's a necessary aid at some points. Thank you everyone, and I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we're meeting today, elders past, present and emerging. I'd like to also welcome my parliamentary colleagues. Daniel, lovely to see you, and your beautiful little daughter here. Bernie, lovely to see you as always, and all other distinguished guests. Well, our previous speaker was saying she's a crazy plant person. Well, so am I. I grew up loving plants, loving all things. I did a degree in horticulture as my first undergraduate degree, where I learned to grow bonsais and orchids and lotus plants I can see there behind us, and all sorts of things. So I have a great love of plants, and I'm dying to get into the show and have a look, and maybe if there's things on sale, I'll even take a few things home to my wife. I love how the Vietnamese community and all our multicultural communities integrate into our society, and have done for many, many years. I remember as a young kid at school when the first Vietnamese refugees were coming to Australia, and how quickly they become our close friends, and how close I stayed with many of them, some of which are no longer with us. I'm a lot older than I look, not quite as old as Bernie, but not far behind him. The Vietnamese community has always been important to me, and I try and get to as many of your events as possible. The Australian government is here with you. We do so much together, whether it be building the new museum that is the current project, and how important that's going to be to the Victorian community, whether you're Vietnamese, Australian-born or Australian-born Vietnamese, or from anywhere else. So there is so much that we do together, so much that we can do together. Anything that the community needs, they're welcome to come to me or my office and ask for whatever help. There's lots of grants, community grants that are available through the government, and I encourage you to look at those and to talk to my office or to Daniel, your local member, about how we can access those grants for you. So I welcome everyone here today. I hope you all enjoy the show. I'm very much looking forward to it. Thank you.
Bonsai Club will give you very special price later if you're going to purchase the bonsais.
I didn't know that you would film it as well.
Next, I would like to invite Dr. Daniel Molino, member for Fraser, Victoria. Please come forward to have a few words. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Can I also begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet and pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. And can I just say from the outset that you can be assured that I won't speak for too long. I have a natural timekeeper here. Karina's reaction to politics is invariably, Dad, it's extremely boring, stop talking about it. So I'll be brief. But can I start by acknowledging it's great to see so many people from different layers of government. David, great to see you. Great to see people from the state government, Tien and Bernie. And I think it's amazing how many people from local government we have here. You know, I think we have enough quorum here for both shires to pass a whole bunch of motions, and I guess we'll see later what happens there. I think I also really want to acknowledge the Vietnamese community and all the different organisations that are here. We have the president of the AVWA, such an amazing organisation, Bon from the VCA, an organisation that's been around for, I think, 45 years. Dan, thank you to your organisation for all it's done here today. And there's probably many groups here from the Vietnamese community that I've forgotten, but I just think it's important to acknowledge how important over this last difficult year all these different groups have been. As Dan said, you know, we've been baking our own sourdough for the last year, and I think while a lot of us focus on the economic side of things, and it's often the unemployment numbers that we track day to day, it was really the very basic things that were the biggest challenges, like couldn't elderly parents see their children for months at a time? Or, you know, could somebody who was very isolated get to the shops and get the food they needed? And, you know, it was organisations like the AVWA, a lot of other community organisations, the VCA, that were often, and it happened in other parts of the community as well, but they were setting up networks of people to provide support. And so much of that was so critical to people's well-being, and it often went under the radar, but, you know, it was so important to us getting through that last year. And one observation I would make is that we are in an incredibly fortunate position in Australia, and I would say that I think all three levels of government have functioned well, basically around the country, and Australia is in a very fortunate position. But I think even more important than government has been the fact that the community has completely played its part in all of the various things that have happened over the last year. And while different levels of government, I think, have made sensible decisions, if all of you hadn't played such an incredible role and made all the sacrifices you had, we wouldn't be where we are today. And the last observation I would make, I'm probably not as much a plant person as David, but I will definitely be amazed by the bonsai. And Karina, who doesn't usually love coming to these things, was desperate to come this morning to see the bonsai and the orchids. But one thing I would say is that it's really us getting back to normal things that is now so powerful. So for us, it's going back to the playground and hopping on the swing, you know, which had been cordoned off for months. But it's coming to events like this in person, which I think is really such a powerful thing for all of us. And it's so wonderful to see so many of us here today. So thank you very much for all the people in the Bonsai Association who put on today, all the volunteers. And of course, these kinds of events take so many hundreds of countless hours to put together. To all those people who aren't going to be acknowledged, who put all that work in, thank you. And I can't wait to have a wander around and see the amazing bonsai and orchids. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel, for the very beautiful words about our family, our community. Now, your little girl, what's her name again?
Karina.
We have very special for you during the refreshment time after this.
Lots of it.
Next, I would like to invite Dr. Kieu Tien, MLC Southeastern Metropolitan. Please come forward to have this speech. Thank you.
To step up. I would like to begin to
acknowledge the traditional owner and custodian of the land we are gathering here today and pay respect to the elders, past, present, and future. I would like to acknowledge the VIPs here today, Senator, my friend Daniel Molina, all the way from Canberra, you too, and my opposite in the Parliament, Bernie Finn, and also the mayors of Brisbane and Melbourne, and many councillors here today, as well as the representative of many community groups, and also Bon Wing, the president of VCA Federal, as well as the president of Victorian chapter. It's great to be here today and to be able to gather in person. It has been a difficult year and challenging year, no doubt about that. And for the people who have the bonsai to look after, they're lucky. They have something to focus on, something to work on, and because bonsai requires a lot of attention and care, and that's good for the mental health. And talking about mental health, I cannot skip the opportunity to mention that the state government has initiated a Royal Commission into mental health, and the report came out last week, and all the recommendation will be implemented as well. We have promised before the setting up the Royal Commission into mental health. And it has been a difficult year, and some of the big events like the Lunar Tet Festival, we have had to abandon it and couldn't get together. Some of the festival in the years past, every time in January we had to go to 6 or 7 different festivals throughout Victoria each weekend, and sometimes 2 days on the same weekend. But now we can have confidence, and we are coming back to the future in a sense. We're getting gradually out of the situation, particularly in Victoria and Australia. It has been a very good situation we are in, but it's not over yet. So I would urge everyone to take care and to follow the advices and measures that are recommended by our Chief Health Officer. And also the vaccines are coming. I will also encourage people, when it is available to you, to take it up and to stay the course of the vaccination. It may require 2 boosts, so that will be good. I'm not a green thumb person, but I am looking forward to have a look at some of the bonsais. They're just a miniature world, and it's so fascinating. So I look forward to that, and would like to end by, a bit late, but by wishing everyone a very happy, healthy, and safe Lunar New Year. A bit late, but rather than never. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Q-Tit. Now, next time when I see you, I hope that I get the copies of the book, Quantum Physics, that you promised me so many times.
Then you make it publicly.
So you won't forget the next time then. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to acknowledge Councillor St. David, the Brisbane City Council. The next speech, I would like to welcome Bernie Finn, MLC representing Western Metropolitan Region. Thank you.
I'll just pause until this plane passes. That's, you shouldn't complain about that, because that is the sound of recovery. And that is a very good thing. I live not far from the airport, and when I'm taking my dog for a walk for months and months and months and months and months, I walked and saw nothing in the sky. And it's back, thank God. Thank God it's back. To my parliamentary colleagues, Senator David Van, and I'll get you back for that, thank you. To Daniel Molino, T&Q, great to see you, Tian, as well. To the mayors of Brimbank and Maribyrnong. Of course, the mayor of Maribyrnong is, like me, a very happy Tiger supporter this morning. It might have only been a practice match last night, but beating Collingwood is beating Collingwood, and that is always a very good thing. Always a very good thing. And as well as I told you to get you back. And as well as many other councillors here today, it is wonderful. And of course, Bronwyn over there, my old mate, it is always great to see you, and it is great to be back. And it is just a joy. I can't tell you how much I enjoy being with the Vietnamese community, how over the years I have come so close to the Vietnamese community, and how much I have missed you. It has been dreadful. It has been dreadful. So I am delighted. I am delighted to be back here today amongst many friends. And for this particular event, which is very exciting, and I'd like to congratulate first and foremost the organisers and those who've put their body and soul into putting this together. And I've had a bit of a preview of what we have inside and behind us today, and it's a treat. You are going to love it. It is just absolutely spectacular, and I too would have loved Daniel to have brought my daughter with me today. Because she's got a green thumb, and she is slowly but surely turning our lounge room into an indoor nursery, and that is God's own truth. And I love planting trees as well, but Charlotte couldn't have been here today because, of course, she's a teenager. And she doesn't get out of bed before midday, so that's not going to happen. So that's a pity. But I just want to congratulate you all on yet another community event from the Vietnamese community. The contribution that the Vietnamese community makes to this country and to this community is enormous. It is enormous, and I want to acknowledge that, and I want to congratulate you. I am so proud to support you whenever and however that I possibly can, because I know and I have seen over the years the wonderful work that you have done and you continue to do and will continue to do, I have absolutely no doubt, to support so many great things in the community, as well as keep your own culture alive. And one of the great things that I love about the Vietnamese community is that you have never forgotten those who sacrificed and who died for freedom. And your love for freedom is something that I just love too. It's something that I share, and it's something that I admire enormously. And if we had more Australians who loved freedom as much as the Vietnamese Australians love freedom, I think we'd have a better country. To tell you the truth, I think that is the truth as well. So, folks, it is wonderful to be here this morning. I thank you for the opportunity, and when I say it's wonderful, it really is. I'm just delighted to be here. Thank you for the opportunity. I wish you well for today, and I wish you well for the year ahead. Thank you very much indeed.
Excuse me, just because I'm a little bit short. Thanks, Benny. I can remember very well when I first joined the Vietnamese community here in Victoria. Your first speech really warmed my heart when you said that, remember, freedom is not for free, so we got to fight for that. Thank you so much. Next, I would like to invite Councillor Jasmine Nguyen, the Deputy Mayor of City of Greenbank. I think the youngest Deputy Mayor so far. Please come forward, Jasmine.
Xin chào tất cả mọi người. Cảm ơn người Việt Úc trong chương trình Victoria đã mời tôi Jasmine Thanh Nguyễn. On behalf of Greenbank City Council, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land, the Wurundjeri people, and pay our respects to elders past, present, and emerging. I'd also like to acknowledge our VIP guests, David Ban, Dr. Diane Molino, Dr. Hilton, no? Sorry. Benny Finn, as well as my fellow Brisbane councillors, Councillor Chung Lu, Councillor Ken, Councillor Sam David, Councillor Bruce Lancashire, Councillor Tui Dai, as well as the Maribyrnong Mayor, Councillor Michael Clark, and the other Maribyrnong councillors. Of course, also Van Nguyen from the Vietnamese Community of Australia, the Victorian chapter, as well as Đền Thờ, from the Vietnamese Bonsai Club Victoria. And of course, everyone who has come along to support the exhibition today. So for those of you who don't know me, I am Councillor Jasmine Nguyen, the Deputy Mayor of Brisbane City Council. And maybe it was destined I was supposed to speak here today because my name is a flower, and my Vietnamese name, Tan Chi, I think it means like green twig or something like that. It's like signifying new growth. Well, thank you for inviting me to this wonderful exhibition. Together with my fellow councillors, I'm honoured to represent Brisbane City Council here today. As I look around at the gorgeous and varied displays of orchids and bonsai, I'm reminded of the diversity of cultures that we are so privileged to share here in Brisbane. Almost half of all Brisbane residents were born overseas, and many more are first-generation Australians, including myself, whose parents settled here. My own parents are Vietnamese refugees who made Brisbane our home for more than 20 years. And they taught me the importance of showing gratitude to our lucky country. This exhibition also reminds me of our community's potential for growth, opportunity, and prosperity. I understand that orchids and bonsai can present significant challenges for novice gardeners, myself included. But with care and commitment, they can produce amazing results, as we see around us today. The past year has certainly presented many challenges, but also opportunities to grow, to learn, to adapt, and to appreciate the things that are truly important to us. This exhibition is a wonderful example of our community's resilience and adaptability. I congratulate event organisers and everyone here today on your commitment to staying safe and to following COVID safety requirements. We at Council highly value the important role of community groups and events such as this, which provide opportunities for people to come together with purpose and friendship, promoting a shared interest and a sense of togetherness. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Jasmine. I think your name in Vietnamese is Bonsai. Yeah. I just can't believe it. Just a few years ago, you first started with the dual identical leadership program, and just only a few more years later on, you became a deputy mayor, one of the youngest one. And so, congratulations. Next, I would like to invite Councillor Michael Clark, the Mayor of Sydney Maribyrnong Council. Please come forward to have a few words. Thank you.
Xin chào. And good morning, friends. I have the privilege of representing the great city of Maribyrnong. I'm Councillor Michael Clark, and I've got to say, it's fantastic here to be part of the opening of the Bonsai and Orchid exhibition, Living Safely with COVID in 2019. Friends, before I continue, I do want to acknowledge that we are on the traditional lands of the Kulin Nation. We offer our respects to the elders of these traditional lands and to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, past, present and emerging. I also am going to acknowledge some very special guests, and I'll explain why shortly. Firstly, to the Mayoress of the City of Maribyrnong, Mary Dowling, to the Citizens of the Year from the City of Maribyrnong, Peter and Lola Anderson, to my councillor colleague, one of the finest councillors I've ever had the opportunity to work with, a great representative of the Vietnamese community, Councillor Cook Lam. Representing the Labor Party in the Southeast Metropolitan Region, Dr. Kee Tien Dung, Mr. Bernie Finn, a very good mate of mine and an absolute advocate, a stalwart for his community, great man Bernie Finn, Daniel Molino. I'm mentioning these people, not friends, not just because it's a matter of course. I'm mentioning these people because every person that I mention here today stands for your community. Daniel Molino stands up for his community. I acknowledge that, Dan. Well done. Also want to acknowledge Senator David Benn. Fantastic stuff, David. Great that you're here. Bon Nguyen from the VCA. What a man. What a man who has represented his community, not just the Vietnamese community. He represents an important segment of Australia. Friends, can you just join with me in the finest Australian citizens we have in our today? Sam David, what a man, former mayor and councillor. What a man. Our Brimbank councillors, Trung Lu, Anya Trung, and his family. He's got some fantastic kids. Bruce Lancashire. Can I just say, Bruce Lancashire, I was the chief executive over at Youth Junction, looking at working with troubled youth. Bruce was there, he turned up. Can I tell you something, friends? Bruce Lancashire, he cares, absolutely. Thuy Dang, Victoria Borg, the Deputy Mayor, Jasmine Nguyen, fantastic stuff, Jasmine. Virginia Tarkas, Lucy Liu from Falun Mark Stracey, one of our finest, and I've got to say I've known Mark Stracey for, I'd say, at least 25 years, back in the Department of Human Services. Our community leaders, Tan Kum, Tan Dung, the President of the Vietnamese Women's Association, fantastic stuff. Please, a round of applause. I just want to make the point, friends, an event like this, and Peter Nguyen from the Footscray Asian Business Association, if I don't acknowledge Peter, I'm in a lot of trouble. I don't mind saying, friends, as Bernie pointed out, if it wasn't for the Vietnamese community, we would be a poorer place. I've got to say, as the Mayor of the City of Maribyrnong, without the Vietnamese community, Footscray, it would be an absolute nothing. Thank you kindly. Friends, before I go on, I just want to make the point. What you notice here, we have representatives from the Liberal Party, the Liberal government. We have representatives from the Labor Party, the Labor governments, the Labor opposition, the opposition Liberal National Party. What it says is that it doesn't matter. Our similarities are far greater than our differences. We stand here, friends, Muslim, Buddhist, Christian, Jew, Hindu. We stand here as one people, an Australian people. We all stand together as Australians working for our great country. On behalf of the City of Maribyrnong, thank you for standing with us as one. Friends, COVID has been an horrific event, no question about it. We have not been able to see our loved ones. It's been a global pandemic leading to a lockdown that we have not seen in this country, not the world, for over 100 years. But we've endured, friends. We've come together. We are slowly returning to a sense of normal. And events such as these really help us reconnect within a COVID-safe environment. I say to you, friends, I am an orchid grower. I have been an orchid grower for I think about 25, possibly 30 years. I've forgotten when I started. The Citizens of the Year, Peter and Lola Anderson, are bonsai plant growers and very, very strong in that area. What we've got here, friends, today is one of the finest collections, and I tell you all, I actually came here a bit early, so I've actually bought my plants. Good luck for you. But look, we are here trying to look after our well-being, trying to look after our mental health. And I don't mind saying, friends, the growing of plants is such a great way of doing this. Join your bonsai club, join your orchid club, talk to people, and that's the key here. Mental health is all about social connectedness, community connectedness, communication, engage with the community. I've got to say, friends, I can only commend the organisations for this particular organisation, for their hard work and dedication to the entire community to bring this fantastic community event together. We are blessed in this country. We are blessed in the mighty city of Brimbank. We are blessed in the state of Victoria. And friends, we are blessed in the mighty nation of Australia. We stand as one. Friends, we stand together. Congratulations to the organisers. It's been brilliant. I look forward to taking some more plants home. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mayor. You know that in Vietnamese culture, the first buyer in the day is very, very important. So I hope that we will get a lot of luck of selling all the bonsai today because of you. Next, I would like to invite Mr. Mark Tracy, Executive Director of Paving the Way, North Melbourne and Flemington Housing Towers.
Since John's here, I'm not very tall, but I'm not that short either. Can I also begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land which we are on today? I've got lots of intersections into this community, both geography and for people. I'll come to the people in a moment. Traditionally, I normally work as the director for the Brimbank Melbourne area for state government, and so I know this area really well, and it's wonderful to be here. Previously a resident of Maribyrnong, so Michael and I come back from there. But the community, I guess, is the people that's what I reference today, and mine is a message of thanks, like many of the people have spoken today. The work I'm doing at the moment, I did with Louise as well, is working with the North Melbourne and Flemington communities, those in the public housing estates, who were part of the lockdown in July of this year. And that was a pretty dark time for everyone. It was a dark time for broader Victoria, but it was absolutely a real challenge for those people who were in lockdown in public housing estates at that point in time. And the way that we got through and the way that we supported those communities was by the support of communities like your own. So I too want to acknowledge Bon. Bon was a great friend and continues to be, importantly, a great friend and supporter of the people who live on those estates. We've now moved through that period of darkness and we're really moving towards recovery, and we're seeing some really fantastic work and partnerships and achievements that will really drive and support those communities to go forward. Pleasingly, the estates there have been COVID-free for, well, up until the last outbreaks. It was twice as long as the rest of Victoria. And from a time when 10% of the population there had COVID to now be one of the leaders in terms of communities, I think is a real testament to absolutely those residents, but to the support that they receive. So I want to thank you, the Vietnamese community. I've also had a bit of a preview. I'm in awe. I think about my poor office-based plants and think I've really got to go back to the drawing board. And I thank you for your time. I look forward to that again. Thank you.
Finally, I would like to ask Mr. Bon Nguyen, the President of Vietnamese Association in Australia and Victoria chapter, please come forward to have a few words. Thank you, Bon.
I just want to be close to you guys, that's all. And part of the other reason is if I stand up, normally if you are short for something and you want to stay away from it. So if you are short, you don't want to stand on a tall stand to make yourself taller. It's actually emphasize the obvious, so I don't want to do that. So I don't want to do that. So ladies and gentlemen, can I first acknowledge the traditional owner of the land and pay my respect to the elders past and present as well. Can I acknowledge the president of our VIP guests? Can I just also emphasize this point? We invited you, you are all our invited guests here, so all of you are our VIP guests, but I cannot actually just acknowledge in general, so can I acknowledge the president of Senators David Vance, and also Dr. Daniel Molina as well, and also our good friends, actually Mr. Benefin and Mr. Dr. Kieu Tin Yung as well. Can I acknowledge the president of the Mayor of the City of Maribyrnong, Michael Clark, and the Deputy Mayors of the City of Brimbank, Ms. Jasmine Wynn, and all the councillors and leaders of the communities, and of course there are two people that I can't just actually not mention, and actually Mr. Mark Stacey, who has been working as the leader, I would call him leaders of actually in health perspective, and also Louis McKinley. So can you please stand up, please, Louis? Please stand up so everyone knows. If everyone might ask that why am I acknowledging actually Matt Tracy and Louis so special? There is a special reason, which I will explain that to you in a minute. I mean, during COVID-19, regardless of where they were, regardless of whatever the department that they were in, we were having meetings almost every night. Initially it was every night, and then after that was actually every second night, and then eventually every week, and then every 2 weeks, and we reduced it to once a month. I think that we are out of the dark now, so that's the reason. And for that fundamental reason, I want to show to you that regardless of where we come from, we do care. When we care, we come together, we get a lot of wonderful things done. Okay, and the other point I want to make is actually, yes, you might be a politician, you might be a senator, you might be a politician, you might be a state politician, you might be a councillor, you might be a community leader, I might be just a normal citizen, and other people just be a housewife at home. But you know what? We are all Australian, and as fellow Australian, we have the responsibility towards one another. So when it's come to dark time, what do we need to do? We need to do things to keep ourselves safe, as well as our fellow Australians safe as well. And that's what exactly we did. And more than ever, I felt so proud to be your fellow Australians. And because of that, I feel there is a sense of responsibility toward my family, toward you, toward all other fellow Australians around the country. I do feel that. And that is actually deeply from my heart. So I heard that people mention about health, mental health. Okay. During COVID-19, I had the opportunity. There was 2 occasions that I helped 2 families, Vietnamese community, the younger generation who could only speak English. The mother could only speak Vietnamese. During one of the family was actually getting into a situation that because during COVID everything was in lockdown. The daughter was using $80,000 to purchase online. Nearly sent the family into broke. Right. I then jumped in to help and realized that within Victoria there are only 2 psychiatrists that can speak Vietnamese and English. Only 2. So these are the examples that we see that that I could actually, will brought to my attention. There are thousands of other examples, I'm sure. But I think We are out of the dark, but I think we are still surrounded by these invisible, I call them invisible enemies. I call them invisible enemies. So they are surrounded us. They are affected our daily activities. We want to be re-engaged. Re-engaged in a way that we can be safe, our friends, our fellow Australians can be safe. I think that it's going to be around with us for a long time, let's just face it. Yes, the vaccine is on the way. The vaccine is on the way, and as a care factor, may I ask you to share with your family and your friend, encourage them to take the vaccine. We are in a much better position now, so please, it is available to you when there's vaccine. I know there's phase 1A, 1B, and 2A, 2B, and that kind of thing, but when it's up, please take the vaccine. It's protect you and it's help to protect other people as well. So please take it as well. And the other care factor is that if you see that your family member or you yourself have the symptom, please get tested. Get always when you get out of your house, please bring a mask with you. Bring a mask with you. Where it is not possible to keep the 1.5 meter distance, please put a mask on. That is how you care for yourselves and for other people, your family members as well. And then going back to re-engaging, Mayor and Deputy Mayor, you probably see that the councillor in Melbourne and Brimbangs are a majority here. Okay, there's a reason for that. Because we would like you to see that there is a positive engagement of the bonsai. When you grow the bonsai, when you care for the bonsai, it's encouraged you to physically exercise. It's encouraged you to mentally exercise as well. So you got to think of a way of how you can actually shape your bonsai in a way. So in my humble opinion, it's actually encouraging the elderly people to actually to move around, physically move around, helps you with your health. Okay, it's helped you to think of a way of how you can make it better, or how you can share that with your friends. That's, in my humble opinion, it's actually reducing the risk of actually health impact. Okay, and I think that by watching the bonsai, it does relax your body and your mind. It does relax. So when you're organizing an exhibition in such a way, people will come through slowly and watch it. They can do all of that while adhering to the guidelines safely as well. So Mayor and Deputy Mayor, we would like to have your support that one day we will have this exhibition in your councils, so that we can re-engage. So that we can re-engage our community members in a very positive way. Not only that, but our ambition is we will go across to Dandenong as well as to Richmond as well. So that's what I want to share with you. And all the time when we have this exhibition, we would like to remind people that we are still living with COVID. There are constant health messages that we would like to send it to our fellow Australians. We want every one of us, doesn't matter what color skin we are, doesn't matter what hair color we are, we can all come together to enjoy. We can do all of that safely as well, ladies and gentlemen. But finally, all of this hard work, all of this wonderful exhibition, bonsai that you are about to say, it doesn't come by itself. It comes with a lot of hard work. And for that, I just want to acknowledge all of the bonsai artists. I would like to call them, a lot of people call them bonsai growers or orchids grower. You know what or not? I also grow orchids as well. The problem with that is, it's never given any flowers. So that's the problem, but I want to acknowledge that they are artists. We have over tens of actually artists of bonsai grower from all over Victoria. We have people even from Bendigo, travel all the way from Bendigo to have their bonsai exhibition here as well. So today is the day of the grand bonsai and orchid exhibition. So I'm looking forward to your feedback and I hope you enjoy. Thank you for being here today. And because I took so much time in speaking in English, and therefore I will cut down the Vietnamese version. So I excuse and please forgive me for not delivering my speech in Vietnamese as well. And also I just want to remind you that even that it is a physical activity that we're doing here, but all of the speaking and the activity will be filmed or be put on online. That was one of the activities that we were very successful in doing during COVID-19. We transformed holding physical activities converted into a virtual world, and we were very successful in that as well. So please have a wonderful day, and please be safe once you enter the building. Please keep 1.5 meter distance and put your mask on as well. You probably see the ribbon there as well. We'll leave that honor to the two guests. That is actually the mayor and the deputy mayor. The reason for that is we are holding the event that actually in their council, and they are the host in a way. So they must cut the ribbon first for us. So thank you.
Thanks, Don. I think it is a great idea that you will bring the bonsai exhibitions to the local council. Yeah, I think it's a very good idea then. Yeah. And Mrs. Louise McKinley and Mr. Tracy Mark, thank you so much for your support to the COVID-19 victims. Thanks again. And finally, now it is special. Yes?
Apology. I knew that I was gonna forget something during COVID-19 and during the difficult time. The Vietnamese was able to help a lot with our community members, and we could not have done it without just us ourselves. There are a few groups that I would like to mention. Groups, not names, but when time is right, I think our community will organize an event that formally acknowledge individuals that those making a difference, helping us during COVID-19. I would like to formally acknowledge and appreciate the organization that supporting us immensely during COVID-19. And those people are from the DHHS, Co-Health, Richmond, North Richmond Community Health, of course the VMC as well, and the Master Poetry Group, Alpha Tax Link, MA Financial Group, and the VCA, of course the VCA volunteer teams. So I deeply appreciate for your help, and also, of course, you see all these movies and media that we're making. We have a team as well, so I really appreciate for your support. And once permitted, we will organize a proper event to acknowledge each and every one of you. Probably there's a lot of people who are actually dedicated time and in terms of volunteers, deliver food, package, buy food and package food, and make sure that all of this is actually delivered to people. I cannot say enough to thank you from the bottom of my heart. So I once again, please stay safe, ladies and gentlemen, and take care of yourselves and take care of one another. Thanks.
Thanks, Ron. Now is the most important of this morning, the official opening of 2021 Bonsai and Orchid exhibition, cutting the ribbons. Bon and Chu Thai, please guys, the guests coming forward to cut the ribbons. Thank you.
So I can invite the Mayor of Melbourne and the Deputy Mayor of Brisbane. Can you please go to the front, and we as the VIP guests, can I invite you to follow, and we can actually follow the guide to go in there and watch the bonsai. So can I invite you to follow, please.
There's no one coming.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, please come forward.
Come in the middle, absolutely. Guys, come on guys. Bernie. Yeah. Good doctor. Sam. Brewster. In the middle. All right. Are we ready? Yes. Here we go. It is officially open. Yeah!
And because of that, the world will see.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Now I've done a sheet and I wasn't so over them.
Ở trong kia có. Đây ngã này. Vé vô.
What the